This is your Daily 5 for Thursday, March 26th, 2026. For the final film of our Milla March, the final film of this week for our Milla March movie marathon, we watched a movie from 2018 titled Future World. Now, going into this movie, this was one that neither Lando and I had ever seen before or even heard of, and we were just bracing ourselves for what this was going to be, because the ratings, if you look at them, are 0% on Rotten Tomatoes for the critical reviews, although there's not that many of them. And on IMDb, it's got I think it's a 3.8, or at least it was the last time I looked. Also, it's a passion project of James Franco. Not somebody either of us holds in very high esteem. He's right in the Jared Leto spectrum of quality. And so we went in this, and the only hope I had was, okay, I know Milla's in it. Hopefully she at least doesn't embarrass herself in it. That was what I was hoping for. So we went into it really not expecting much of anything. And honestly, the biggest surprise about this movie, now, I don't want to oversell this thing. It's certainly not a good movie, per se, but it's on the same quality level as early Sci-Fi Channel original films. Not now with the asylum stuff and the stuff that's intentionally bad and just over CG'd and everything, but it feels more like a mid to late 90s Sci-Fi Channel movie, in that it is definitely ripping off Mad Max for the most part, along with a couple other things, but that's the biggest inspiration, if you want to use that word for it. But it really doesn't fail that badly as a movie. In fact, in a lot of ways, the movie does things that are unexpected that are good, which I would not, because I know James Franco was heavily involved. This wasn't just a passion project. He's listed as the co-director. And so I really didn't know what we were going to get here in terms of how the movie functioned. And it's actually fairly well shot. Milla is by far the best thing in it. She has I guess it is a cameo, but it's not really. It's enough that she has lines and dialogue. She's in it for more than just a few minutes. It's certainly not a dazed and confused level role. And she is very entertaining in it. Apparently she took the role because she didn't want to be typecast as an action hero. She wanted to show that she could be villainous too, which she is. But she still does have good action sequences. But honestly, with the idea of James Franco's involvement along with the ratings, we were expecting a far worse film than we got. Again, I don't want to misrepresent that this is a high watermark of unknown B-film, spectacular excellence that nobody's heard of. It's certainly not that far. I would put this on a scale of 1 to 10. I would bolt this at a dead middle 5, because it never does anything that's so bad that it lowers it past that, and nor does it go any further higher. I mean, there's a couple of clever bits in terms of the storytelling that might push it to 5.5, but that's about it. And those things are impressive. There's a couple decisions it makes. We'll talk about it on Friday in detail, just in case anybody wants to watch this. It's on YouTube for free at the moment anyway. It does a few things that we were both impressed by because we weren't expecting anything from it. And to some degree, that's why I want to be careful about not overselling it to anybody. We went in with bottom-of-the-barrel expectations. But honestly, I certainly would watch this, and I think Lando will probably agree. I would watch this movie again over any of the Resident Evil sequels. Not the first one, any of the sequels. This is better than any of the sequels in terms of a total film. As far as anything else, would I watch this over any of the other movies we watched this week? Maybe. We'll get into it on Friday when we get into the details, because we have to get into the other movies to really kind of explain this properly. But I'll say right now that it is better than, especially the last 3 Resident Evil sequels. I'd watch this over those in a heartbeat. And going in with, again, James Franco as the main involved name and the ratings that are generally around, we were both surprised, really genuinely surprised. And so that helped it. Whereas some others, if you go in with neutral expectations, you might have a different experience. But just in general, Future World, I'm not going to tell you it's a great movie, but it certainly is not a movie that should be rating 3.8 on IMDb. It is absolutely not that bad. It's not necessarily that good, but it functions a lot better than we expected it to. And hey, that's a win all its own. Later.